So just easing into our yoga session with some semi-squats. So nice and gentle movement, getting the knees and the hips, legs working, getting the blood circulating a little bit faster and breathing a bit deeper perhaps, and maybe speeding up if you want to. And then we can turn our focus to our ankles and toe joints by doing a double heel raise on one side and then a double heel raise on the other. We can get the upper body involved by taking a wider stance and sweeping the right arm round in a big loop to the left and back again, and then pushing out to the side. Then bringing the left hand round and pushing out to the side. So, as always, I like to just remind ourselves of what's involved here. By pushing with the palm, you're actually working the fingers, the wrists, the forearms, and then of course the elbow and the upper arm when you're stretching the arm out, making good use of the shoulder joint by doing a almost 360 degrees circle with the shoulder. We're twisting the spine from side to side, we're twisting the neck from side to side, we're shifting the weight from one leg to the other. So there's a lot going on in this nice simple movement. And it's good to inhale on the circular sweep, exhale on the push. And then from here, we can start our stretching by putting one hand on the hip and then stretching all the way down the other side, alternating from side to side. And maybe if your neck is in good health and you're quite comfortable looking up from underneath the arm, then you can add that. And either inhale into the stretch, exhale as you come out of it, or just breathe whatever way feels right for you. And then we can go into our next exercise, which is the anchoring movement, where we anchor one foot in place, step backwards and forwards with the other foot, and we swing relaxed arms up and down as we go. So arms and shoulders are relaxed, and again we can have that mindful approach of being fully aware of what's going on with the body. Besides working the shoulders, that anchored foot even is active in that we're working the toe joints as we come forwards, we're working the ankle as we step back and lift the toes and the ball of the foot. So we're working the lower leg on the anchored foot. And of course it's increasing our breathing and our heart rate. We can swap over then, anchor the other foot in place, and away we go again. Let's do another 2. And then we can go into our cross patterning with a couple of options. I'm doing the Thopa Karanam by taking hold of the opposite earlobe in first finger and thumb, and then inhaling into a semi-squat, exhaling as she comes out of it. The other alternative being tapping the outside of the opposite knee. And remember, cross patterning isn't just physical exercise, it's also, because we're crossing the center line of the body with our arms, it's also making the 2 hemispheres of the brain connect with each other. What is it? Neurons that fire together wire together, is the phrase. Now we can make this a bit tougher if you want to by bringing the elbow to the opposite knee instead of the hand. That's making the core work harder. And we can always take it up another notch if you like by doing a double diagonal stretch on one side and then the other. And 2 more to each side. Okay, that brings us to our dance, the one I call the dance step. So for that we have the feet close together. To start with, we take the right foot behind the left, let the heel touch the floor. We face forwards while the hips are facing over at 45 degrees. So we're getting the twist to the spine and a stretch from underneath the ribs right down to the heel. Do the same on the other side, and again, just take a moment to appreciate what we're gaining from the dance movement, and then from side to side. Going at your own speed always. Maybe getting the upper body involved by swinging an arm up to match the foot that's going across. Maybe involving the neck as well by looking up from underneath. Don't do that if it causes you to feel a bit unbalanced or if there's any problems with the neck. We can also swing the arms round and point. I tend to fit my breathing in by inhaling one way and exhaling the other way. So, at this point now, we don't want to be feeling exhausted, but we do want to be perhaps aware of the fact that heart's beating a bit faster and we're breathing a bit deeper, a bit faster. So that was the whole point of that, and what we still call the activations are more for stretching now. So what we do is interlink the fingers, bring the palms overhead, inhale, and on the exhale, twist to one side and bring the hands down to the knee, cross to the other knee, inhale as we bring them up overhead again. And then we do exactly the same in the opposite direction and alternate, or we can do another 5 in that direction, and then 6 in the opposite direction. And as you're doing these, Just be aware of the fact that you're twisting the spine to one side and then the other. You are bending the spine forwards. You're stretching the glutes and the hamstrings. And maybe you're finding that those muscles at the back and the hamstrings are relaxing and allowing you to bend that little bit deeper into that forward bend. And then we can do 6 in the other direction. Always working at your own speed. Coming into the last one now. Okay, then we continue to work on the hamstrings and the glutes and the small of the back by turning one foot out to the side. If you're comfortable lifting the toes and the ball of the foot so that you're just balancing on the heel, that's good, because we can then work the lower leg in that way. We inhale up through the crown of the head and we exhale, sliding the hands down that leg just as far as you want to go. And then we flatten the foot against the floor if you've got it bent. You bend the right knee so that you can use the thigh to walk the hands up again, supporting yourself back up to vertical. Ready to do the same on the other side. So inhaling up, exhaling, sliding the hands down the leg as far as you want to go, and taking 4 or 5 breaths. Being aware of the stretch to hamstring, glute and small of the back. And then we can flatten the foot against the floor, bending the knee and using the thigh to help ourselves back up to vertical. And that leads us into our earth sequence. Almost like this one, it's a bit Qigong-like, isn't it? So interlink the fingers to begin with. Inhale the palms up to the chin, turn the palms over and exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead. Exhale, bringing the palms out to the sides and around. And remember, you can imagine inhaling silver energy up and exhaling it down the spine. Inhale forwards, exhale, building a silver bubble of health and immunity around you. And twice more. Okay, we take a wider stance so that we can bend the knees and bring the hands lower. Inhale up to the chin, turn the palms over, exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead. Exhale out to the sides and around. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhale forwards and overhead. Exhale around. And last one. Okay, take a wider stance again, and this time we're bending forwards. So inhale up to the chin, turn the palms over, exhale down as low as you want to go. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead. Exhale out to the sides and around. We then turn the right foot out to the right. Inhale the hands a little bit higher up to the face. Exhale forwards and up. Inhale to the vertical. Exhale the hands out to the sides and around. And 3 more of those. Looking to make it a nice, seamless flowing movement. So just flowing through the positions. And the same to the other side, inhaling up, exhaling forwards and up, inhaling to the vertical, exhaling around. Okay, that then brings us to our emotional block release sequence, which means we work on our balance. The feet close together to begin with. Ideally, we close the eyes for this part of the exercise, and we tune in then more carefully to what's going on with our feet and lower legs. We lean slightly forwards to feel the weight move to the front of the feet. We lean slightly to the right, feel it on the front of the right foot. We lean back, feeling the weight shift along the edge of the right foot to the heel. Lean over, feeling it on the left heel. Forwards, to feel it on the toes and the ball of the left foot. And we complete the circle. We complete another circle in that direction. Toning and strengthening tendons and muscles. And then we do 2 circles in the opposite direction. And besides all that toning, we're also strengthening muscle-brain connections, keeping them strong. And then we come back to a central position, and we'll look for that central position of balance between left and right and front and back. And then let's take the next step in working on our balance with tree pose. So as you undoubtedly know, Anne and I have different procedures. We both start off by finding a drishti point to look at. We both bring the heel of one foot to the ankle of the other. And then
I place the hands in position first because I find that gives me better balance, but they can be here, you can be here, holding onto a chair even, whatever way it feels best for you, and then place the foot in position.
Whereas I like to get my foot in position first, and we can just lift it for as long as we can and try keep dipping down, or we could just have the toe of the foot on the floor. As Anne says, you can have the wall or a chair, you can have it against the calf. We don't put it against the knee because we don't want to damage the knee, which can happen over time. We can have it above the knee. We can have the hands, as Anne says, out at the sides, at the heart, overhead pointed, or overhead with the palms towards the ceiling. I'm going to have the hands together today. And then we can come out and do exactly the same on the other side. So drishti point, heel to ankle, maybe spreading the toes of the foot you're going to bounce on if you find that helps. And then either Anne's sequence or mine for getting into position and holding it for 4 or 5 breaths. And then come out of that and continue our emotional block release sequence with our vertical stretching. So we start off and we inhale both hands up, and if you want you can come up off your heels, and then we exhale bringing the arms down. And twice more, inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and then exhale, bringing the hands out to the sides, imagining that we've got this big beach ball. Inhale, and on the exhale we rotate the ball and we inhale back to neutral. We exhale, rotating it in the opposite direction, and inhale back, and twice more in each direction. And then we finish with the arms not locked rigid, but just nicely 80% straight if you like. And we inhale, pointing the thumbs backwards and bringing the shoulders back. Bring the shoulder blades together to really fill the lungs. Breathing into the belly, and then exhaling, pulling the stomach in and getting rid of all that air. So twice more, fill the lungs. And bend forwards, emptying them. And then we rotate the arms in opposite directions, looking from side to side. So we're working hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, shoulders and upper arms, and neck. So next we focus on the neck, just relaxing the shoulders and arms down, and 3 exercises for the neck. So we start by inhaling, turning the head as far as we can to one side. Exhale to the front and inhale, turning the head as far as you can to the other side. Exhale to the front, twice more to each side. And then we can gently relax the head towards one shoulder. If you want, you can add the weight of the arm to just get a bit more stretch into the opposite side of the neck. So we're relaxing the shoulders. We're relaxing everything really apart from the arm, if you're using that arm to add a bit of extra stretch. Now, we might not want to suddenly make demands on a stretched muscle, so you may want to just help the head back into a central position before relaxing the head to the other side, and again maybe adding the weight of the arm. And again, supporting the head back to centre, and then stretching the fronts and the backs of the neck by bringing the chin as high as we can, and then bringing the head forwards and the chin coming down onto the chest, stretching the back. Twice more. And then we place the hands on the small of the back, and we inhale back about 45, well, no, we just inhale back and then we bend forwards about 45 degrees. We just rock backwards and forwards a few times, checking in with our spine and deciding if we want to go into a wave-like movement. And if we do, on this third one, we continue to breathe out as we bend as low as we can. And then we bring the knees forwards, start to inhale, follow with the hips, the chest, finally the chin. And another 4 of those wave-like movements. The last one. And now after bending it backwards and forwards like that, we want to twist the spine. So we bring the hands up to shoulder level. As we inhale, we sweep one hand around to the opposite shoulder and wrap the other hand around the waist. Inhale to the front again, and the same to the other side. Repeating twice more. Okay, so that then takes us to the squat. If you don't like the squat, you can get some extra knee hugs in. If you're doing the squat, you can do it going into garland pose with the heels on the floor and then rocking, or you can come down into frog with the heels off the floor and a nice straight back, and we're looking straight ahead. You can still wiggle the knees a bit and work the hip joints a bit. Even bringing the knees right down to the floor if you want to. And then we go into an exercise that's really good for the legs. We inhale and come up into standing forward fold, and exhale, come down again, twice more. And then we go into our last 9. And remember, if you are having problems with your back, choose 4 of these and repeat them 3 times on 4 days during the week. And I can put up a list of these 9 exercises. You can choose any 4 of these. The first one involves just hugging the knee towards the chest for 4 or 5 breaths. And the same on the other side. Now we want to work those hip joints at a different angle. So we go back to the first knee and we bring it across the body to the other side, tucking its foot under the other knee. That's our Maltese cross. If we want to take it further, we roll right over onto the side and pin the knee to the floor on that side. And then we drop the shoulder back again. And we can always support the knee or the shoulder with cushions. And then we do the same on the other side. So this first movement is the Maltese cross. If we take it further, we're going into the supine spinal twist. And our third exercise is for the core. So we come onto our backs, soles of the feet on the floor, knees up in the air, and we push the small of the back down into the mat, raise the tailbone, pull in the pelvic floor, and hold it tense for a count of 10, and then relax for a count of 10. And personally, I feel that's the best of the three options for core. The other two being both of them, again, lying on your back with the small of the back pushed down into the mat, and then sliding the sole of one foot as far along the floor as you can till you're forced to turn the feet upwards, and then slowly sliding it back again, alternating the sides, or knees up in the air, calves parallel with the floor, again pushing the small of the back down into the mat and slowly lowering one foot and raising it again, and then the other foot, and alternating in that way. But I have to say that I feel that that first option is the most beneficial generally. But obviously choose whichever feels the most beneficial for you, because we're all different. Okay, then we go into the fourth of those 9 exercises, and that involves lying on your side to do the spiral with the knees drawn up, and then as we inhale, we watch the top arm rise towards 12 o'clock, and then we watch it sink down behind us. We inhale up again, and exhale, bringing hands again. We repeat that.
Or you could do a head to knee pose, in which case you start in a seated position, legs outstretched, bringing one heel to the inner upper thigh. Raise the arms and come forward with a straight back, reaching as far down the outstretched leg as possible, and then using the leg as a guide to come back, creating circles and bringing the head closer to the knee on each forward bend. Or you could stretch and flex. You would come forward in that case and stop on the forward reach. Checking in, this gives you a chance to check in what is the distance between head and knee, because that will likely change as you work. And checking that it's all right with the back to do this. And then we raise the first arm overhead, lean that elbow, raise the second arm, lift the hips off the floor. So you get a stretch all the way from fingertips to toes down that side, and then flex back. And stretch a second time, and flex. And we do this 3 times, and you'll be surprised how much difference it'll make. As we come back this 3rd time, we stop, hold, and check in. Just hold for a moment to get the full benefit of that stretch. And then we raise the arms overhead. Release so that we can do the same on the other side. So taking the other heel to inner upper thigh, stretching high, moving forward as far as you can reach along that leg, and using the leg as a guide to come back. Create the circles again. Watch your head coming closer to your knee on each forward bend. Stretching and flexing, we move forward and hold. Check in. This is your checking time. And then when you're satisfied with your check-in, raise the arm overhead. Behind you, rest on it, raise the other arm, lift the hips right off the floor. The stretch now is down the other side from fingertips to toes. And flex. Stretch a second time. And flex. Again, we're doing 3 stretches. And flex. This time we stop and hold. Check in again. And just hold for a moment to get the full benefit. And then we raise the arms overhead and release to the side, ready for the next movement.
Which is a choice of back bends. So we're going to come in and out of the position 3 times. The first position is Sphinx, where we spread the hands. The elbows are out near the edge of the mat to give us room to move the spine up and down. Fingers are pushed, and we come up into a position where we're looking straight ahead. Second one is Seal, and showing Seal, where you now straighten the elbows and the thumbs are pointing straight ahead. And the final one is Cobra, where we tuck the elbows into the ribs and the hands are underneath the shoulders. Remember to use the back muscles for the initial lift, and then use the hands to come all the way up. All the way up as far as the belly button coming off the mat, but not the hips, because we're looking for a bend in the spine rather than a lift of the torso. So, 3 times, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, turning the head to the other side. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, folding the arms and resting the forehead on the forearms. Hands protecting me. Hand there, doing that bit for me. Thank you. So, crocodile pose. A chance for you to check in with the spine that's been working in all directions recently, and just release any tensions that you feel there. And when you feel that's all right, you can move the focus of your attention up to your shoulders and the back of your neck. If you feel that you'd rather do a bit more exercise, then you can go into the pelvic raise, coming onto your back, soles of the feet on the floor, knees up in the air, and then peeling the spine off the mat by raising the tailbone first, and then just rolling up, pushing down, and then relaxing as you let the spine roll back down, tailbone last. Twice more. Okay. That then brings us to locust. And there are various versions of locust. We can do baby locust, where we tuck the toes underneath, as Anne's demonstrating, push the heels away so that the knees come up off the mat, and we're tensing every muscle from the hips to the heels. The second option is diagonal locust, where we raise the right arm, the left leg and the head, and then the left arm, the right leg and the head, or all 4 limbs and the head.
Or you can do tiger, in which case you begin in tabletop, stretch one leg and the diagonally opposite arm. Choose whether you want to look ahead or down at the mat, depending on how far you want that stretch in your spine to go, and then just hold for 3 or 4 breaths. And when you're coming out, remember not to spring, to come gently out of that, ready to swap over to the other side. So we take the other leg out, diagonally opposite arm, again making that choice, and it doesn't have to be the same, whether you're looking ahead or down at the mat, and holding. And coming gently out of that so that you are again in tabletop position, ready for cat-cow. So for cat-cow, you're going to exhale, arch in the back, drawing in the stomach, dropping ahead. And as you begin the inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and the chin. This exercise is always done slowly and mindfully and is excellent for your spine.
If however you want to work on hips and knees, we can lie on our back and do the thread the needle pose. Soles of the feet on the floor for this, and then we bring the right ankle above the left knee. We push the right knee away a few times just to see how it feels, see if it's taking that okay. And if everything's good, then we take the right hand underneath the right calf and we pull the left knee towards us, either from behind the knee, or we can bend the knee and bring it to us in that way for 4 or 5 breaths. And here you should be feeling it in the knee joint, the outside of the right thigh, or the hip joint, or all three, but gently. Always remember to be gentle with yourself. And we can do the same on the other side. So left ankle above the right knee. Checking by pushing the left knee away a few times. Yeah, that feels okay. So left hand underneath the left calf and pull the right knee to us for 4 or 5 breaths. And coming out of that, we go into the 9th final pose, and that's our extended child with the arms stretched out, or child pose with the hands down by the feet. And remember, you can always rest your forehead on a yoga block, a thick book, a cushion. But whichever pose you use and whichever supports you apply, and remember there's nothing wrong with using props, but whichever you do, aim to make this an exercise where you just release any tensions from around the shoulders and the back of the neck. So just letting go in that area. Okay, so from there we can come into Shavasana. That's our chance to recuperate the benefits of the work by, letting the muscles and joints get a deep stage. This is where healing occurs, when you can reach a really deep stage of relaxation. It's amazing the body has an ability to heal itself at really deep levels. So, we let the feet fall out to the side. I think a favourite relaxation is the golden oil. A lot of people let me know that they like that one. So we do that one this morning. So we start off by just noticing our inhales, focusing maybe on the air coming in and out of the nostrils. Now think of your favourite fragrance or scent, and imagine that you are inhaling that fragrance every time you breathe in. Imagine that someone is carrying a glass jug with a warm golden oil, and that beautiful fragrance you're enjoying is wafting from that golden oil. And they very gently pour this warm golden oil over your bare feet so that the warmth soaks into the feet, warming all the tendons and joints, the muscles of the feet and the ankles and the calves. Imagine the warmth as a golden glow of health and strength. And that golden glow flows into the ankles and the calves and the knees and the thighs. So that both legs are glowing with health. Imagine that golden glow then coming through the hips to the abdomen, lighting up a golden glow in the abdomen. Imagine it healing any problems we have in our digestive system or in any of the other important organs in the abdomen. Relaxing the abdomen before moving through the diaphragm and into the lungs and the heart and the chest. Imagine the golden glow seeping up the spine as it gets to the level of the shoulders, cascading down the upper arms, through the elbows, the forearms, to the hands. Does it create a tingle or a glow in the fingers and the palms of the hands? And we can come back to the neck and the jaw, the cheeks, muscles around the eyes, the forehead. Relaxing the forehead, relaxing any tension from the forehead. Checking if you've got a semi-frown there and just letting it go before moving on to the scalp. And then you may want to focus on a particular area. If you have a particular health problem, we know we can measure, and if you focus on an area, extra energy can be measured in that area. So for me, I'm going to focus on the left hand that's just been operated on, but you may have a problem that you want to just imagine that golden healing glow getting stronger and stronger in an area that is of concern to you. As always, you can bathe in that golden glow and relaxation for as long as suits you. When you're ready to come out, remember to come out nice and slowly and gently. So maybe wiggling fingers and thumbs, maybe opening your eyes very slowly before stretching. And gently rolling over onto your right side for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, just pushing down on your left hand to bring yourself up to a sitting position.